Hello everyone, welcome back to the ongoing series on ethics, integrity and aptitude. In our last class, we have discussed whether ethics changes and if it changes, then how does it changes, right? Now, today we will discuss another question, that is whether ethics are the final conclusions to one's action, right? So the answer to this question is no, right? Because ethics are or ethics cannot be considered as the final conclusion to one's action. This is because they are only the framework on the basis of which one decides his or her actions, right? And one should keep examining or checking his ethics, otherwise it will jeopardize his safety, right? See, in our last class we have discussed about the khap panchayats, right? We have discussed about the khap panchayats which is prevalent in the states of Haryana. Okay, so these khap panchayats are against the intercaste marriage, right? Now, thus, if you go and perform intercaste marriage in such societies, this will jeopardize your safety, right? So, thus, this means that one should keep changing his ethics depending upon the societal conditions. Okay, so the ethics are not universal throughout the societies, right? So these ethics can vary from society to society or depending upon the various prevailing social conditions, right? Okay, again another example is that marriage within the same gotra is not allowed in some of the societies, right? So these are the examples which shows this ethics are never the final conclusion to one's action. Now the next question is, are the ethical statements objectively true? See, when we say objective, it means anything that is universal truth and it exists as it is. Okay, so if you are asked a question whether a falling tree in the forest will make a sound or not, then the answer will be always yes. Why? This is because the fact that the falling tree makes a sound is an objective idea or an objective view, because whether you are witness to the falling tree or not, the falling tree will always make a sound, right? So this is an objective phenomenon, right? So that's why when we say about the MCQ based exams, we say that these are the objective questions. That means these questions always have a answer, okay, which is right. Okay, now when we say about subjective, it means that idea is based on the personal opinion of the individual actor. Okay, that means when you ask about a person that are you feeling hot today, okay, now the degree of hotness may vary from person to person, right? So some may feel very hot in the same particular day and some may feel less hot. Okay, so that is the subjective opinion of that particular person, right? Now based on these two views, either it is objective or subjective, that is either ethics are objective or subjective, there are two opinions, right? So the realist ethical realist, they think that human beings discover ethical truths that are already have an independent existence. Okay, that means these ethical realists talk about the objective truth. Okay, they talk about the facts that are objective in nature and based on which the ethics are set. Okay, so we will understand this with the help of some examples, right? Now the next view of the non-realist is that they think that the human beings invent ethical truths. That means these non-realists talks about the subjective meaning of the individuals. Okay, that means when you say about something good or something bad, or when you talk about something right or wrong. So these are the personal interpretations of an individual, right, which is subsequently set as an rule or as a guideline for the society. Okay, so based on these two opinions, that is of the ethical realist and ethical non-realist, there are four ethical isms, right? Four ethical isms is important because directly question comes on these four ethical isms. Either question will come in the form of short notes, or either it will come directly in question format to answer it in 250 words. Okay, so the first is moral realism. Now, moral realism is based on the idea that there are real objective moral facts or truths in the universe. Moral statements provide factual information about those truths. That means moral realism holds that there are some objective moral values. Okay, there are some universal moral values, so that the evaluative statements that we make, okay, for example, the things which are right or those which are wrong, right, that what should be done and what shouldn't be done, what is acceptable or what isn't, are all moral facts, and these moral facts are based on the objective moral values, right. Now, these evaluative statements, that when we say that these some things are right or some things are wrong, some things are acceptable or not, okay, so these evaluative statements are independent of our personal beliefs, okay, these are independent of our personal feelings or our personal attitude towards the particular thing. Okay, that means it doesn't matter कि हम लोग क्या खुद से सोचते हैं उस चीज के बारे में, right. For example, when it is said that suicide is wrong, okay, it doesn't matter if you individually support that phenomenon, okay. So since it is based on the universal or objective moral value, okay, and the evaluative statement wrongness is attached with this phenomenon of suicide, so irrespective of your personal opinion, belief, feeling or attitude, this phenomenon is considered as wrong. Okay, clear? Next is subjectivism. So subjectivism teaches that there are no any objective moral truths. Ethical subjectivism stands in opposition to moral realism. Okay, so this can be understood with the help of this example. See, when you say I disapprove murder, okay, now as subjectivism says that there are no any objective moral truths, okay, now when you say you disapprove murder, so the statement that the murder is wrong or you disapprove murder can't be objectively true, right. So this can be also understood with the help of euthanasia. Okay, euthanasia. So as we know that euthanasia is the practice of intentionally ending a life in order to relieve the pain and suffering. Okay, so this is basically this method is used for the medical patients, right, that doesn't have any chance to survive. Okay, so this is usually done so that the patient may be relieved from his or her pain. Okay, now this euthanasia is also a form of murder, right? So taking anyone's life, either voluntary or involuntary, of that person's wish is a form of murder, right? Now you cannot always say that murder is right or wrong, since in the practice of euthanasia it is basically for the good of the patient itself. Okay, so you cannot directly say that murder is wrong. Okay, so thus this subjectivism theory says that there are no any objective moral truth based on which you can say that anything is good or anything is bad. Okay, clear? Next is the emotivism. So emotivism teaches that moral statements do nothing more than express the speaker's feelings about the issue. Okay, that means emotivism claims, or emotivists claim, that statements about any good and evil are just the expressions of an individual. Okay, they are the expressions of an individual about their approval or disapproval towards a particular thing. Okay, that means it is purely the subjective opinion or the subjective expression of the speaker. Okay, that, for example, when you say that charity is good, okay, that means you approve charity. That's why, since you approve charity, so it is a good thing, right? And when you say that stealing is bad, that means you disapprove stealing. Okay, so stealing is considered as bad. Okay, so emotivists say that the moral statements are all based on the subjective expression of the speakers. Okay, so hence it is colloquially, or that is simply known as hurrah or boo theory. Okay, that means when you approve a particular thing, as we have seen about the charity. Okay, when you say that charity is good, or you simply appreciate charity, like yay charity, or when you say anything that is bad, okay, you say that it is boo. Okay, that's why it is known as hurrah or boo theory. Okay, so the last is prescriptivism, right? So prescriptivist thinks that ethical statements are instructions or recommendations. Okay, see, when I say something is good, I am recommending you something, right? And when I say something is bad, I am telling you that it is very bad, or you should not do it, right? See, this is similar to the medications that are prescribed by the doctors, right? Now, when a doctor prescribe you certain medicines, okay, that means that particular medicine is needed to treat your ailment. Okay, that means the doctor is prescribing a thing that he thinks that it is good for you. Similarly, when the doctor says that you should not eat this because this is bad for your disease, that means these are the things that are bad or that should be avoided. Okay, so prescriptivist says that these ethical statements are nothing but the statements or instructions made by an individual to an other individual. Okay, so this is the end of today's video. So if you think that these videos are helping you, please share with your friends. So thank you for watching.